Hey friend, it's been a minute. Like I haven't even had time. Look, I'm gonna have to do like this to wax my chin. It's pretty bad. But today I'm over having all these plants. Uh I want to paint and I want to do some things and everything revolves around all these plants. Since I have there's a mess over there. I just got groceries. Because I have plants everywhere, and you can only do so much with the space you have. For whatever reason, stop it! A lot of my plants are struggling. Uh, hold A lot of them are struggling, and I don't know why. Like my Ratrospera tetrasperma yellow dying. And he's all back there. You see dying. Um, and they're just not doing well. I can't give them the care that I need. So many black leaves. Like if I showed you some of these plants and what they look like compared to when I did my plant video, you'll be appalled. This died off because one of my children knocked it over. She trying to hang on. I don't cut her back, but I don't know. She needs more light. I had closed that up because it was cold. But I don't know what to do. They're dry. It's time to water. Um so I'm gonna give a lot of plants to Fran. I know you haven't seen him in a while since we're not gardening right now. And I also have another friend, one of my boo's friends, is just getting into plants. I'm going to give him some. Now, with my friend, I have to come to terms that some of these plants that I'm going to give him are probably going to wind up in the compost. So I'm going to be particular about the plants that I give him. So if they do wind up in the compost, I won't be so hurt about it. But some of the plants I'm giving him are actually plants he had gave me, and they go through periods of times when they're doing good and they're not. Like well, I'll show you. Hold on. Like I was thinking about giving it to Don't Mind My Table. It's so dirty, full of crumbs and ketchup, but that's what happens when you have children. Like this was another plant that my children blessed with their dad allowing them to play ball in the house. But she's come back. So I just cleaned her up. That's all her crap that had died off. But I didn't realize she had come back so much. So she's actually doing pretty good. She grew a lot while she was up there. You know what I noticed? If I stop worrying about these plants, now you know what? It's 50-50. If I stop worrying about the plants and just water them and let them be, they'll do this. Or they'll do this. Real quick, let me hop on. Look at that chair to my right. I'm going to tell you, I will never, ever buy a cloth seat in my house ever again, especially when you have children. It's all stained. If you see up in the upper right hand corner, that's the covers I put on my seats because my children have stained these seats so bad, and I've cleaned it. The stains just will not come off. Liquid just stayed on the seat. So please, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Please don't judge me by how that seat looks. I am going to replace them, but I saw that and I was like, Kim, what were you thinking? You got that on camera, but you know what? Real life moment. So this plant I'll probably keep. This one, my friend actually gave me this plant. And maybe I'll find a picture of what she looked like when I did my plant tour of my pothos and philodendrons. But Miss Ma'am did not look like this. Like if you miss a watering, This one will tell you. It don't even matter if you was just a few days late. She will tell you. And you know what? When I took her out, now all this died off, right? Well, look at all her new growth at the bottom. It was all wrapped up in other plants and all in the window. So, I don't know. I might leave it to Fran, give it back to him, and maybe he'll propagate it. I don't know. I gave this one a name. This one had a name. What'd I name him? Oh, Icarus. I named this one Icarus because he loves reaching for the sun, and that's what he's been doing since I've been letting him sit there and do whatever, because he was wrapped up all in the blinds. But he was reaching for the sun so bad he almost fell off the ledge that he was on a couple of years ago. So that's why I named him Icarus. You know the story of Icarus that had the waxed wings and flew too close to the sun and his wings melted. So Icarus, talk to me. What do you want to do? You want to go back home where I got you from? Are you happy where you're at? What do you want from me? Oh, you're so bald. Icarus, yes? I think you're going to go to Fran. This is another one. Like, he's happy, but look how long the vine is. It goes all the way from here to across the chair. And it doesn't even have any leaves. And I think I'm going to give this is a silver sword, and I have another one. But I'm going to give this one to Fran, and I'm going to leave this because he could propagate it, and maybe leaves will start to grow, and I know he has some people that he could give propagations to. So this one is going as well. Sorry, terrible light. Now, Miss Ma'am, I hope you understand why I have to do this. You're dying off. You got too much going on. And it's just for your own good. So please, don't die me. Please, please, please. It's going to be real interesting when it's time to unravel her from behind here. Real interesting. Let me hurry this up. Plants I'm going to give to my friend. But this, I think this was a, not the Marble Queen, because it's starting to turn into a jade. It's losing its color. It was the other one that kind of looks like it. I'll come up with the name and post it. But yeah, I'm going to give this to my friend. And this looked gorgeous. I don't know if you remember the video, but she got temperamental. Let me clean her up. I think I'm going to give him my Scadapsus too. She used to be super full, but she is growing. She's happy again, but yeah. All right, I'm going to take these 4 plants. Icarus, I'm going to keep Icarus for now. Icarus is one of my OGs I started with, so I'm going to keep him for now. But let me get these to my friend's house. I'm not going to lie. It's hard getting rid of some of these plants because I've had them for so long, and I actually did decide to give my friend Icarus. Sorry, I'm trying to put on my shoe. I had them for so long, like when I started really collecting plants, sorry. So 2020, 4 years. Now, I've had some plants longer than that. My peace lily, I've had probably 15 years, she's staying. And my Chinese evergreen, about the same. She's staying, obviously, but it does feel nice to get some of these plants gone. I will miss them, but I gotta learn. I gotta learn to let them go. I gotta learn. Just like I want my boo to learn how to let some of his clothes go. Gotta let some of these plants go. So I'm back from dropping off the plants. It was 4 plants and the cutting from my sperma. And the only plant that I'm feeling guilt over is Icarus. Like, I felt like he was pulling on me. Like, why did you even know that's like where I got him from? So I called my friend. I said, if any time he seems like he's not happy, there's just call me and I'll come get him. Please don't throw him in the compost. But I gotta let go. You get emotional attachment to things, and plants is a living thing. You get an emotional attachment to it. But now it's actually New Year's Eve, and I don't want to go into New Year's with an extremely dirty house. So I'm gonna go in, finish watering my plants and doing some plant chores. I'm not gonna record it. I'm gonna finish cleaning up my mess because it's a mess. Let's see. It's a mess. Don't mind that other mess here. It's a mess. All right, I'm shooting this after finishing a video that you'll see in about a week. But I wanted to jump in here and talk about what happened before Christmas. So in the last video, you saw me and Zay, doing the walk. The next day, Boo was having like a scratchy throat. And I'm like, oh, okay, but he was all right. And my mom was here. My mom is older, but he wasn't sick, so I was just leaving it. Any signs of illness, my mom needs to stay away, and that's just a whole nother issue. But that I'm not even going to get into. But it doesn't help. She is 75 years old. So the next day, he wakes up sick, super sick. And now he thinks I'm upset with him because he's sick. I'm not upset with him because he's sick. I'm irritated because if he is the first person that gets sick, that means somebody else is going to get sick in the house because he's like patient zero. He can't keep germs to himself. He just can't do it. And then I'm thinking about my mom, and I'm thinking about because she was around him the day before. Then I'm thinking about myself because I help take care of my mom and with certain things that she needs and some things going forward. I'm like, I can't get sick. So I was irritated. Wasn't mad. I'm just irritated. I didn't make him stay in the room. He went into the basement. Him going into the basement meant he had to come upstairs to use the bathroom that everybody's using and walking through the kitchen. So lo and behold, let's see, he was feeling better by Christmas, on Christmas Day. I think I'm messing up my timeline. Was it Christmas Eve? No, 2 days before Christmas. No, how did the dates go? 2 days before Christmas. No, so 3 days. It was 3 days before Christmas. He was coughing, and then the next day he got sick. So that was 2 days before Christmas. And by that night, he was really, really bad, like really bad. And he came upstairs. It was the day before Christmas Eve or the night before Christmas Eve, and he says, "I need to go to the hospital." He goes to the ER, and they say he has pneumonia. They caught it just in time. They do breathing treatments, give him all the drugs, whatever. By Christmas, whatever illness he had already passed. Pneumonia is not contagious, so whatever. My mom wore a mask. She did come over. Cool. But while my mom was here on Christmas Day, I'm noticing Xavier kind of coughing. He's like, "Oh, I got a tickle in my throat." And I'm thinking, crap, because that's how Boo started. So my mom's wearing a mask, you know, and she doesn't like hang around too much on Christmas Day. By the next day, the day after Christmas, Xavier sick. Sick, 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 sick. His sick was different than Boo's sick. Boo never really had a fever, but all his was respiratory, but he also has asthma. Xavier hasn't been sick in a long time. He had COVID twice, and ever since then, he really hasn't been sick. But I make sure everybody takes vitamin C supplements because I'm not trying to get sick. But he has a fever, body. He's sleeping all day, just bad. Like his sickness lasted longer than Boo's. Yeah, I would probably say he was sick for about 4 or 5 days, and he was staying up in his room. And it sucks for him because he's very sociable and very loving. And Xavier, he just had to stay in his room until he felt better. I had to keep Chris away from him. He was easier to control about wearing a mask, but I had to take care of him. And so that passed without Chris nor myself getting sick. Thank you, Jeebus, or my mom, or anybody else. Like Xavier's other grandma, she came with his uncle. They had to stay at the door because she doesn't need to get sick. Like nobody needs to get sick for one reason or another. I mean, who wants to get sick anyway? But yeah, so it was making it hard to record, and I know I was going down to one video a week, and I've been trying to keep up on that roughly here. So, but thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in a week. Bye.